movie about killing yourself for a glimpse of the afterlife opens with weird-ass non-sequitur Pompeii imagery. In 1990, this was somewhat of a ringing endorsement. This is post-St. Elmo's fire and Lost Boys, but prior to his Las Vegas review versions of Batman. Man, the beginning of this movie really likes statues and shit. Wow, Bacon is billed after Oliver Platt? Didn't even get the also starring credit. Ah yes, the ominous sun, foreboding in its very existence. Wait, is Schumacher just making Lost Boys again? Why is this medical facility so darkly lit? Hospitals aren't designed with mood lighting in mind, people. The fuck happened here? You've got caution tape and caution light stands all over the place. It looks like someone dug up a bunch of sidewalks and left that shit alone for the fall semester. Aren't there better ways to tell the audience, hey, this building is mostly abandoned and they won't get caught here? These items, kids, were called cassette tapes and were once the predominant form of audio recording and sharing, believe it or not. Let's add scalpel into human foot to the list of images I don't need movies to show me.
I have no interest in watching you kill yourself.
Movie character states my concerns with the movie itself less than 10 minutes in.
Today's exam will be scaled.
What the f***, teacher lady? These students were all just actively carving these bodies up, and now you're suggesting it was all pre-class tinkering? Are there practice cadavers and testing cadavers in separate rooms? Okay, so he was kicked out of school for a questionable medical decision. Why is he rappelling down from his dorm window in the middle of the day? When you get suspended in college, do you have to sneak away? Or can you just use the stairs in a regular car to go home for the weekend?
I don't want to die.
I beg to differ, Kiefer. At the beginning of this film, you said today was a good day to die. So, which is it?
You burned your career today on a stranger. Now you're turning your back on a friend.
But she couldn't have been more than 6 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, so was she really a stranger? What the f*** is this vehicle, and why does a goddamn expelled medical student own it? Does he think this is MASH? I mean, I'm petty sometimes, but seriously, what the f*** is up with this truck? This might be the stupidest truck ever in a movie. I would say this is creepy, but it appears that Hurley is more interested in watching himself have sex than he is the girl he's having sex with. Or just loves to look at his back. Oh wait, maybe that's creepier. Also, this individual scene, along with the success of Basic Instinct, was the pitch for the movie Sliver.
Be late. Don't forget the camera.
What camera?
Timely answering machine message is timely. Holy shit, look at the size of Nelson's place. Looks like he lives in a mausoleum. And he has a computer? In 1990? Medical students must make a lot more money than I realized, or he's going to have to pay back approximately $15 million in student loans when he graduates. Make sure you got that hair gel just right for your near-death experience. Honestly, these flashing yellow caution lights outside a gothic building like this only makes me think of the movie Relic. And anyone or anything that makes me think about the movie Relic is deserving of sins. Too many minutes of statue porn. I'm adding 10 sins for the statue porn alone.
What the hell are we doing here?
Way too fucking late for that kind of question, dude. Also, whatever room in the abandoned building this is, in which they're about to do pseudoscience, the columns are all members of King Arthur's Round Table, for some reason. Is he unsure there's liquid in that thing? Or carefully yet casually squirting out liquid to get the syringe down to more exact dosage levels? And after this, he flicks the syringe to remove air bubbles, as so many of you tell us is a real thing. But before that, he was just squirting shit out for no reason, goddammit.
Now it's up to the physical sciences. I think mankind deserves to know.
Let's get into this main plot point a little bit here. So the idea is to prove that there is life after death. However, the person who goes under is by themselves and has no witnesses to prove anything they say afterwards is true. And most of mankind isn't going to believe a damn thing you say.
So you're doing this for mankind?
How did you not laugh while saying this? He's clearly doing it for himself alone, yet somehow he wrapped all you suckers up in his plan.
Why do I suddenly see you on 60 Minutes, sandwiched in between Andy Rooney and a Subaru commercial?
Well, because that's the ultimate conclusion here to what you're doing.
We're all professionals. I'm sure this will go very smooth.
If by professionals you mean students who have yet to earn a medical degree, then yes, professionals. I'm no kill yourself but then come back to life expert, but I feel like these sensors being stuck to his face are a bit of cinematic overload.
I'll see you soon.
Or you'll be dead and the three of us will go to prison for murder. Bacon ex machina!
This is not the kind I want in my transcript.
While I totally get Steckel and Hurley's current freakout session, it's fair to question why the hell they even came. They knew exactly what was going to happen when they got there. Hurley decides to go avant-garde with his murder film. Nelson's Afterlife is essentially an XTC video with some synth pop and a guitar.
Sodium bicarbonate.
I mean, thank God Kevin Bacon showed up tonight, am I right? 20 years before Sinister was a movie, Trevor began his hijinks. What the f*** were you filming the last couple minutes, asshole? A f***ing floor? You had one job. Even if you die and come back to life, can you really do both things inside of a few hours and then still be in walking through campus condition? They shoved him in a truck and drove into Chinatown, and then they decided to check his vitals. Movie suggests Billy Baldwin is alive only because one med student's CPR kung fu is better than another's. The lesson here, kids, is that even if you're a sexist and straight-up creep in real life, your afterlife will consist of a bunch of Victoria's Secret models lusting after you. Why, yes, Oliver Platt is wearing suspenders on top of his sweater vest. Thanks for noticing.
This could be the conquest of our generation. The last great frontier.
Once again, I have to question both the importance of this discovery and the ability to accurately convey to the masses what exactly happened. I mean, wouldn't the cure for cancer or AIDS be a better example of the last great frontier, and people would actually have physical proof that it's true?
I came back from the dead tonight.
Yes, let's share knowledge of our very illegal experiments with Random Lunch Lady.
You're looking for answers? There's no answers here. I think you just saw what you wanted to see.
Dave would be great at writing CinemaSins.
210.
220.
Poor fraidy cat Julia Roberts. She keeps losing her turn to die by being outnamed that tuned by the jockey cocky guys. Also, the last time you guys did 1:30. Now you're jumping up to a total time dead length that is more than 50% longer of a time period. His walk home naturally leads him through dark alleys late at night. And boy howdy if it isn't the most populated late night alley in the history of ever. God damn it, Trevor!
If we were already dead and had nothing to lose by dying, or perhaps it was because we lived life so well.
Movie has time for this. Burning Man Origins. Yes, even with the Psycho Lost Boys Halloween Rager bonfire going on 25 feet away, they're still gonna kill one of their own tonight and try and revive him. Discretion be damned.
Who are you supposed to be? Boner Man?
Zooming in on the bridge of his nose, I wonder what that could— Holy sudden freaky eye!
What if he didn't make it back? Would you miss him, Rachel?
I feel like when Kiefer went to Joel Schumacher for direction, he told him to go ahead and dig it up as far as he could, and then just dig it up some more. Does anyone inventory and keep track of this school's medical equipment and drug supply? Cause movies sure don't seem to think so.
1,000.
Atropine.
1,000. Joe, keep filming. I'm gonna bring them back.
That you even thought to say this says a lot about your motivations, dude. Were the footprints a distraction so the kid could get Nelson from behind? That seems way too elaborate. Why not just hit him in the face as soon as he walks in the door? I realize he doesn't want to tell his modern friends that he harassed a kid in his youth, but not telling them anything about the thing I saw while I was dead trying to kill him in the real world is a huge sin of omission. Same goes for Baldwin. A book called Euthanasia, Leaning Against a Picture Frame, is what this movie thinks is thematic subtlety. Are they doing this shit every night now? Seems awfully convenient that Manus's afterlife takes her exactly where she wanted to go. That glass of punch is full of confetti, you cretin! The fact that it took this long for this to happen, given the setup shown here, is unbelievable.
Sure, maybe a circuit.
Oh maybe we should have planned all this better. So either he shot himself or someone else shot him. We've yet to learn. But this bloody gunshot hole in the windshield is only adding to the questions. Was he sitting in the middle of the front seat for some reason? Did he shoot himself, but do so in a manner that produced this gunshot hole? The filmmakers don't care. They just want you to feel the emotion, and probably you did. Fine, good on them. But logic is long gone in this f***ing film.
I've been haunted by these images of women that I videotaped without them knowing.
Not sure haunted is the right word. These women are still alive, presumably. Unless, of course, Hurley killed them all, which would probably make a more interesting movie than this one. We would definitely have seen less demonic kids dropping loogies.
They're all members of the Joe Hurley video library.
It's creepy enough you videotaped these women without their knowledge, but then you branded said collection of videos? I always assumed Daniel was the creepiest Baldwin, but William is making a strong case here.
At least we would have had a choice!
Pretty sure Dave had a choice. No one forced him into doing this. In fact, they were all willingly bidding on how long they would go under. Also, could the screenwriter not get a little more creative with the sins? Both Nelson and Dave are being haunted by kids they picked on in grade school. Nelson is really hoping that the ghosts are turned away by the power of a deadbolt. Also, he locks all his doors, but does not arm himself with any kind of weapon. Considering that Trevor beat him up once with fists and once with a hockey stick, it's insane this guy isn't holding a gun right now. Movie is really sorry for bullying you back in grade school. Joe climbs the stairs of the ghosts you f***ed them and filmed them past.
I need you to show me that you love me.
Also, while obviously Hurley is a despicable human being, these women actually fell for these lines? Only Kevin Bacon is smart enough to try and contact his past life tormentor in the present day to try and make amends. And that's just goofy. Why is Manus working on her cadaver by herself while everyone else has a partner?
I haven't been that ugly little girl in quite some time.
You were never ugly.
Well, that's good enough for me.
How you doing?
Fine for somebody who keeps running into her father, who's been dead for 20 years.
So, is that a yes on the okay? Can we have sex now?
Atonement, gentlemen.
I'll give Kiefer this. He really went for it. Doesn't make it a particularly interesting or good performance, but he gave it his all. Why didn't the dogs bark at Nelson?
This is a graveyard.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
This is where Billy lives.
If Nelson knew the kid was dead, then why not just tell Hurley and Steckle earlier? Also, why is Hurley's sin from people who are still alive, while Nelson and Manus have to deal with situations where the person in question is dead? This script sucks is the only answer I can come up with.
Billy Mahoney died 17 years ago, and whether he actually is or not, Nelson feels responsible.
According to the tombstone Nelson, Hurley, and Steckle came across, Billy died in 1976, which means 17 years later would put this movie's timeline in 1993, even though the movie was released in 1990 and presumably takes place in present time. Also, while Dave's opinion that as a kid you shouldn't be held responsible for your actions might hold up for his and especially Manus's predicament, Nelson is 100% responsible. He threw a rock at a kid, knocking him out of a tree and killing him. That's it. Billy just wanted to knock Nelson out of the tree? Why didn't beating the out of him in the subway, knocking him over the head with a hockey stick, or slicing him across the face with a screwdriver suffice? And how did Billy know that Nelson would eventually figure out that he needed to go back under to make peace with him? He could have left better clues, is all I'm saying. Only Trevor forgives. So Manus, Dave, and Nelson have all found peace with their past sins. Or at least one sin. But I guess Hurley is
hereby want Jerry Seinfeld to remove my life support, feeding machine, lung blower, etc., etc., etc.
Got a Charlie horse! Operation! A broken heart, of course! Operation! The whitest Krampus, too!
I got some Shell D5W in the cooler.
It's Miller time!
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind.
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to sparkle motion.
Gandhi? Oh, the passion.
You have bad breath caused by gingivitis. You couldn't get a porn star off. Your hairpiece looks like something that was killed crossing the highway. I don't know whether to comb it or scrape it off with a shovel and bury it alive.
I never said I had binoculars. I have a highly magnified telescopic image of you.